Happy Tuesday! Hope everybody's enjoying their week and a little bit more freedom now that we've had curfew lifted here in Cayman anyway. So that's been excellent. Got to go to the grocery store on a Tuesday, which was a novelty. Yeah, so here we are. Tonight we are having a chat on green cleaning. So how to use your essential oils and everyday sort of ingredients like baking soda and vinegar and Castile soaps and things, really basic things that you might have around the house already and around the kitchen that you can use to do all your cleaning without having to introduce any more toxic chemicals into your home and into your body. So here we go. The first thing I always like to do to start off a class is just do a little bit of a recap on what essential oils are, what they're not, and a little bit about how we use them. And so essential oils are aromatic compounds. They are a distillation, usually. Sometimes for, say, like a citrus, it could be the press of a rind, but usually we're looking at a distillation process of different parts of a plant, or maybe a combination of parts. So it could be the root, the bark, the stem, the leaf. Just depends what the chemical constituent is that we're trying to harness from that plant. So when we say essence, or the essential oil, the essence of the oil, it is really what we're harnessing is the plant's defense mechanism, right? We're trying to harness the antibacterial, antifungal, all of those sort of anti-inflammatory, all those wonderful properties that we can get from the plant. So we understand through science what part of the plant is going to yield the right chemical constituents that then, when distilled, comes to us in our beautiful little bottles of oil. So something like this one, which we have lemon eucalyptus. And so this isn't lemon and eucalyptus mixed. Lemon eucalyptus is actually its own plant, and it smells really wonderful. It's really great for cleaning. So that's what essential oils are. And then there are three cool things that we always like to talk about with our oils. So the first being that they're 100% safe and natural. And I say that with the caveat that I can only speak to doTERRA oils. So I am a doTERRA wellness advocate and have been using doTERRA oils for several years now. And I understand the purity and the quality through that distillation process. So in terms of how it's harvested, where it's sourced, and then the distillation and the distribution, and all of those things are all done through a process called co-impact sourcing. And what that means is that doTERRA controls the entire supply chain. What happens, and is an unfortunate reality in the essential oil business, with several essential oil companies sort of coming online, is that there isn't a regulatory body that oversees essential oils or the bottling or what you put on the label. And so you can really, in theory, put anything on the label. You could say it is 100% pure lavender, but it might only be 5% lavender in the bottle. And then there could be some other synthetics or just some other fillers or oils or things mixed in. So it's really important to understand the sourcing and to know where those oils are coming from, but also where they are sourced in terms of them being grown indigenously, right? So we know that if you don't have good soil and you don't have the right growing conditions and the right climate, that your plant material will either not thrive at all or can actually have quite a different chemical makeup. And so to get something that's pure, has the right chemical constituents, we really need to make sure that the plant material is actually grown somewhere where that is indigenous to that environment. So doTERRA only sources in that model, and so something like a lavender that comes from France, the citrus in Brazil, those sorts of things, frankincense, the resin comes from Somalia. So there's so many different places in the world that the harvesting takes place, and that's all strategic to bring sort of the best quality oils really to us. They are also more effective than traditional approaches, and we say that in light of the fact that you can use something really simple like a lavender and frankincense. So a couple drops of each combined with a little bit of, say, coconut oil can actually, soothe, say, a sunburn. So you don't need to have a separate, say, sunburn lotion. And if you look at those, whilst pure aloe would be lovely and is also really soothing for, say, a sunburn, when you buy an aloe after sun care or something over the counter, it tends to have a lot of other things in it. Some of them which are not great for us. And that cooling sensation isn't necessarily just coming from the aloe itself. There's other things they're introducing to it. So you're always better just to use the pure plant material where you can. And more effective and safer, I think, because you also see a lot of those commercials for sort of over-the-counter options, which come with a laundry list of side effects, right? And can be addictive as well. There's a lot of over-the-counter prescriptions out there that can actually become addictive. Something as simple as even cough syrup, right? Sometimes those things have certain levels of pharmaceuticals in them that your body can actually become addicted to. So essential oils never create an addiction, although some would say I may have a small addiction to my oils, but always in a good way, and the way they support me and my family. So the other thing is that really your oils cost just pennies a use. So when you use a few drops of, say, lemon oil, that's like 5 cents, right? And we would add lemon oil to a couple drops to, say, a bottle of water. So instead of buying one of those effervescent tabs or whatever that probably cost about, I don't know, maybe 30-40 cents each tab, you read the ingredients to figure out what's actually in those. You can add a couple drops of your citrus oil to your water. It has this lovely sort of, it gives it flavor, and it's just so great for your digestive system. So think about, pennies per use and all of the various uses, and we'll talk about some of those uses tonight as we go through and look at the different ways you can incorporate the oils into your sort of green cleaning. So there are 3 ways to use oils. So tonight we'll talk about all 3 of them. Aromatically is probably the one that most people start with, right? They start with a diffuser. Is something, if you're not familiar with a diffuser, it's a looks like a little lamp, because it usually has a cute little light in it. You plug it in, you fill it up with a little bit of water, and then you just add a couple drops of the oil, and it diffuses the oil into the air using a really super fine mist. It's not hot. It's not hot or cold like a humidifier would be. It's simply just misting room temperature water. Anyways, it's a wonderful way to get the aromatics out into a room, and depending on the size of your diffuser will depend how far or how much square footage it will disperse. So you'd want to look at that depending on the size of your room and whether it's a closed-in room, or whether you have like an open kitchen living room area where you might want a bigger diffuser, which then can diffuse a larger space. But there's so many benefits to diffusing. And it's not just that it helps the air smell nice, but it actually purifies the air at the same time. You can also attract so many wonderful emotional benefits from the diffusing. So something like a wild orange has a really uplifting, calming property. You can use something like Breathe, which is a respiratory blend, or a eucalyptus to help open airways. Peppermint's really great for opening your airways. So there's so many different ways to use your oils aromatically. And I'll show you a trick when we use when we make the all-purpose cleaner on how I use that aromatically as well. So we also use our oils topically. And when you look at toxic-free living, there are 2 ways that toxins sort of work their way into your body. One is through the chemical constituents, the chemicals that we bring into the home, either through furniture, say curtains, things like that off gas, or the type of cleaning products that we use. So the things that we're using to clean our floors and our countertops and our toilets, and also that all of those seem to be an individual product when in fact you just need something that cleans, and your toilet and your countertops can be cleaned by the exact same thing. All you're trying to do is eliminate germs either way. So, you know, you can really simplify as well as we go through this, but using them, you know, topically is a way that we use them when we're looking at replacing sort of our skincare products, right? So our lotions and all of our shampoos and all of those things, when we start using things that are heavy in toxins, that actually absorbs through the skin. Same to be said when you're looking at cleaning products and something that, say you're using a spray window cleaner, and you know that that is actually then coming back at you and you're inhaling that, right? So that is not the aromatic experience we're looking for to be inhaling a window cleaner. So you have to just know that you're introducing toxins into your body in several different ways. And remembering that your skin is your largest organ. So the things you're exposing your skin to, you're also ingesting. The third way to use our essential oils is internal. And that is very purposeful. In fact, many of the oils that doTERRA creates are actually come in a capsule format. So you are then meant to take them internally, much like a supplement. So something really effective like the On Guard oil also comes in a capsule because this is our immune support blend. So we also use this for all of our cleaning supplies and recipes because it's super effective antibacterial properties, but it also is an immune support blend, so it comes in a capsule for internal use. So when we talk about internal use, there are two camps for whether, you know, essential oils should be ingested. So essential oils, proper essential oils, so doTERRA essential oils are pure plant material, and we consume plants all the time. We are designed to use plants medicinally as well. For thousands of years, and in cultures all over the world, we've used essential oils and plants as medicine. So the difference is, again, when we go back to where I spoke about the quality and the purity and the sourcing, is that if you're not getting a pure plant material in the bottle, that's where you run the risk of taking things internally that can be harmful. When you take doTERRA essential oils internally, all it's doing is supporting your system to create a sense of homeostasis. So you cannot throw out one system or the other and get off balance. You know, if you take a digestive tablet because you have indigestion, it's not then going to create some secondary problem, much like you can get with other antacids that actually disrupt the gut flora and all those other things. So when you take your oils internally, there are guidelines, safe use guidelines, of course, but know that it is actually one of the things we recommend to support your health and well-being. And because they can be consumed, they make perfect companions for cleaning products, because we just said that, you know, you're going to be spraying your cleaning supplies, you know, on your countertops and your windows and things, and you really then are ingesting that. So better to have safer, cleaner, you know, cleaning products, again, so that you're not at risk of inhaling more toxic chemicals. So cleaning environment tips. I think we are all well versed with the washing our hands now, which is pretty prevalent. You know, I think we're in an environment too where we are washing things down, maybe doing laundry a little bit more often, wiping door handles. I know I'm cleaning the steering wheel on my car as well. So I come in from the grocery and I'll, you know, kind of wipe that down, and maybe some of the door handles and things like that. So just trying to be a bit mindful again about, you know, general hygiene. So what lurks under your sink? And this is one of the things when I first started with doTERRA, I chose a kit that allowed me to sort of replace pretty much all my personal care products, but also my cleaning products. So I did a little bit of a sweep underneath the sink and said, you know what, not only do I have multiple products for all of, you know, the various things, I've got the, you know, the countertop cleaner and the window cleaner and all of that. You really don't need multiple products. You also need to be cognizant of what's in those products. So there's a couple apps that I like to use. One is called Think Dirty, and the other one is the EWG. And both of those have barcode scanners, and you would literally take a bottle, so something that you might use already, and you can scan it on the app, and it will give you a toxicity rating. So based on the ingredients, it's going to let you know whether, what the harmful chemicals are that are in that product. So some of the products, some of the items in that product might actually be safe, fairly clean, but there are going to be a few that could be sort of suspect, and that's where you just want to be careful about what you're already using. So those are two apps that are really good, and a way to sort of see what you're using. And if what you're using comes up and it's clean, then great, but at least then you know what you're doing. Please also just know that the word fragrance is loaded with challenges. So the word fragrance can, because it's undescript, so whatever makes something smell like fresh mountain breeze, or something that makes it smell like lavender, which is not lavender, is called fragrance, can be upwards of like hundreds, almost thousands of chemicals, right? And because that wouldn't be practical to put on a label, there is an exclusion that if you're creating a synthetic fragrance, that you just have to label it fragrance. And so that is one of those ones that tips something off. So if you are going to use, say, those disposable wipes, or you're going to use a something, always go for the fragrance-free option, because it's more likely to be less toxic for you than the ones that are fragranced. And again, if you're going to use those, maybe you want to fragrance them yourself with a few of your oils, and you could take, plain wipes and add a few drops of wild orange to them, and then you'll have the aroma that you're looking for without the toxicity. So I'd like to give you just a little bit of a laundry list of some of the really handy things to have around the house if you're going to be making your own sort of DIY. So vinegar, super simple. Baking soda, On Guard cleaning concentrate, so we'll talk a little bit about that one. You want some glass spray bottles, so I repurposed, this used to be one of those tonic water bottles. I repurposed the cap and the bottle itself. I also use a different one for the veggie wash, which we'll talk about, and Castile soap, and I don't think I have that here on the counter with me, but you can get Dr. Bronner's is probably the one that's most readily available that I've seen, and that is basically just a pure soap base, and you can use it to mix and match in so many different recipes where you're just looking to do something cleaning. You can use it on your floors, use it to make homemade laundry detergent. There's so many applications for it, but you can also wash your hair and your body with that one. So if you're ever in need of something to take traveling and you need a one-stop shop, the Castile soap works really great for that kind of thing. Also love soap bars that you can get at the Be Well store, and they do a dish soap tab now, like that's a homemade dish soap bar. So again, something like that, it's not liquid, it's easy to travel with, and you've just got it. So look for those sort of alternatives as well, especially for travel. Okay, so some of our favorite oils for cleaning would be your citrus, right? So, and we have this wonderful collection of citrus. We have grapefruit, lime, lemon, wild orange, green mandarin, clementine, tangerine, yeah, like so many different ones. And there's also one called Citrus Bliss, which is sort of a citrusy vanilla. So that one is not for internal use, but does smell amazing and can be really great addition to your cleaning supplies as well. Then you also get oils like peppermint and tea tree, which is called Melaleuca as well. And of course our On Guard blend. And the On Guard blend is cinnamon, clove, eucalyptus, wild orange, and rosemary. This one is amazing and smells a little like Christmas to me, so I always love using that one. Another one, a blend specifically for sort of cleaning, called Purify. This one is really great for making like a stinky shoe spray, and something where you're really trying to fight the bacteria. And at the end of the day, smell is really a function of bacteria, and so really if you can eliminate the bacteria, you can get rid of your smell. So okay, so we talked a little bit about fragrance. One of the things I like to do, so when we talk about a little bit about replacing things, right? So instead of using candles in the home, which and I love candles, and if you can find some beeswax candles, they're great for ambiance. But the fragranced ones, again, are just actually putting more toxins into your environment. So instead, try to use some beeswax candles and have your diffuser going. And you can customize the scent anytime. So instead of having a candle that only ever has one scent, you can every day change up what's in your diffuser and then have the ambiance from your beeswax candles. So I love to do that. Having plants in your home, real plants, is actually a really great way to purify the air as well too. So something like a spider plant, the peace lily, there's so many different plants. There's actually some research that NASA did on, sort of how plants increase the air quality for us, and obviously they work in confined spaces, and so having some plants is actually really great. So having fresh, alive plants in your home not only adds again to that ambiance, they look nice, but they're also beneficial to the air we're breathing. So I have a couple recipes that I like to share with you. So my first one is this DIY veggie spray. So again, I repurposed a Perrier bottle. I've got a spray top, standard label that I bought at a craft store or something. But it's really important to you to wash your produce. So all your fruits and veggies should always be washed. And actually, even if I have time when I bring them home from the grocery, would like to actually just wash it all, cut it all. You are way more apt to graze on fruits and veg if it's already washed and cut up, instead of grabbing the box of crackers, just based on convenience alone, right? But also washing them as soon as you bring them into the house, and what you're trying to do, there's a few things. Sometimes there's like a waxy substance on it, but also too, when you look, in the store and there's the produce guy like rearranging all the lemons to make them look nice in the pile, like how many people have touched your lemons, right? So even if you aren't fussed about the pesticides, you should be fussed about all the people that have touched your lemons first. So trying to wash your produce is super important. So this spray I just leave right beside the sink, right beside the dish, or the hand soap, and I'll literally use a strainer, give it all a really, really good spritz, let it sit for a few minutes, and then give it a good rinse. And so this is pretty easy to make. So it is simply some baking soda, which you put in a little bowl, and then you add a few drops of a citrus oil. So you can add, I said wild orange, lemon, grapefruit, any of those, which is really nice. And you would just actually mix it up in the bowl with the baking soda, right? So you mix that up. Then you take a quarter cup of your vinegar, and we are back to, elementary school science fair project here, where we add a little bit of our baking soda and vinegar together, and you get this little fizz, right? So what you want to do is keep stirring it and try to get all the fizz out, because otherwise when you go to put the cap on your bottle, there's a lot of pressure that builds up in here, and then it just starts leaking out the top, and it's a little messy. So you get your oils, you've got your baking soda, and you just mix this up and try to get as much of the fizz out. Then what you can do is you can pour that mixture into your bottle, and then I'll just literally top it up with some filtered water from the fridge, maybe add a few more drops of one of my favorite citrus. I usually like to use grapefruit in this one. And then I'll put the cap on, give it a good shake, and then I'll leave the cap off for a little bit, just again to let the fizz kind of die down a little bit. And that's it. That is your veggie spray. So I used to spend, I don't know, $6 on a bottle of veggie wash from the produce section of the grocery store. And now I make this bottle of veggie wash, I don't know, might cost me, 40 cents, because vinegar is pretty inexpensive, and so is baking soda. So, and again, my oils are just pennies a use. So that one is a really great way. And you always have it, because you just whip it up whenever you run out. So that one's great. When you're looking at laundry, a couple things you can do, quick, easy DIYs for laundry. One is dryer balls. So if you are still using dryer sheets, maybe reconsider for a few reasons. One, for the environment, because they are disposable, and also because generally they're covered in fragrance. And that fragrance is not only getting on your clothes and then touching your skin, but it's also your dryer vents outside, and you can usually tell somebody's doing laundry when you walk by their house because all you can smell is the dryer vent, and that's just those chemicals coming out into our environment. So if you are still in that camp and want to look for a change, dryer balls are an excellent way to switch out, and they literally are wool balls, so just wool woven very tightly. You usually put 6 of them in the dryer, and mine just live in the dryer, so I pull the clothes out, the dryer balls are just always there. And the way we use our oils with the dryer balls is when the cycle is finished, you pop out a couple of balls, you add a few drops of something. So say you love geranium or lavender. Citrus bloom is one of our new blends, and it's really really delicious, so you may want to add a few drops of that. Pop it back in the dryer and just let it on the fluff for a few minutes, and it helps infuse the clothes. So that's a really great way to, again, if you like that aroma and you need that, then that's an easy way to do it. One of the easiest sort of fabric softeners you can use is actually vinegar as well. So again, you don't need to buy a jug of fabric softener with all the various fragrance and whatever that's doing to our environment as it washes down the drain. Simply put a little bit of vinegar, and you could use a couple drops of like peppermint or any of your sort of cleaning oils again. So whatever, again, you'd like to infuse the laundry with. But don't be afraid too that your laundry is going to smell like vinegar. Vinegar rinses out really easily, so when you use it in the washing machine, it's not going to smell like vinegar on the back end. So it's really, again, economical and simple to use. So just always have your vinegar on hand, and you've got 1,000 things you can do with vinegar. One of my favorite doTERRA products is this cleaning concentrate. Again, this is the On Guard blend. So this one that I said smells like Christmas. So it smells amazing without any sort of synthetic fragrances. And this bottle makes 12 spray bottles. So you literally only use 2 tablespoons of this, and the rest is water. So, you're really minimizing the use of plastic, and this is really all you need. I use this to clean the whole house. Everything gets sprayed down, and I said, so really I'm taking 2 tablespoons of the concentrate in this, filling it up again with just some filtered water from the fridge or distilled water if you want. And what I love to do with this one is I'm obsessed with peppermint, so I actually put 10 to 12 drops of peppermint in this mix. And so when I'm cleaning the countertops at night or wiping down the fridge or whatever I'm like spritzing, I'm just inhaling peppermint, and it's lovely and it's good for me and it makes me happy. So it's super simple. So again, just easy way to make your own. So we've recycled the bottles, we have incorporated the benefits of the oils aromatically, and there is lots of research if you are concerned about whether the natural products actually are effective and can be actually more effective than some of the stuff that you're getting over the counter. So I'm happy to share those examples with you as well. Not to mention that because you're using 2 tablespoons of the concentrate and the rest is just water, this literally costs less than $2. Maybe, I think it's about $1.60 if you work it out, to make this whole spray bottle of all-purpose cleaner. And you cannot buy a green, eco-friendly, good-for-you cleaner over the counter for $1.60. So economical as well. And again, you can customize it with anything. I said I just have an obsession for peppermint, so it always goes in with peppermint, but you could use extra wild orange or whatever you're interested in. So, smelly shoe spray. So you can, again, make your own little sprays with any of these bottles. And really easy, you can use a little bit of witch hazel, or a little bit of, again, distilled water and just some of your oils, and spritz things down. So gym equipment, shoes, spritz the inside of the kid's shoes, that sort of thing. With, again, any of your sort of cleaning oils. So you've got the Purify, your citrus, tea tree is a really good one as well, for cleaning. One of the things that I like to use as well is these sort of lava stone pucks. These are actually, doTERRA makes these, and I keep these in the shoe closet on the various shelves where all the shoes are, and then I'll just walk by and put a couple drops of these every few days or so, and it just actually helps clean the air in the shoe closet. Or you can actually just put a drop in a really smelly shoe if you needed to. But this is a nice way, again, to use your oils aromatically. And so those just sit on the shoe shelf. And I said, I do really love this lemon eucalyptus for cleaning as well. It's really nice and fresh, kind of like a lemongrass smell, which again is a really lovely one to use aromatically in the kitchen. I like that one in the morning. It's a bit of a pick-me-up. So, all right. And so resources. So if we're going to talk, I'm talking about things that I make, and it's a quarter cup of this and a couple drops of that. And I get that if you're new to essential oils, that might seem overwhelming or complicated or what have you. And honestly, it is so simple. But I get you just have to start somewhere. So you just need to make that commitment to yourself that you want to get rid of the toxic chemicals in your home, and you start somewhere. And I said, maybe you download that app and you take a look at what's under your counter or under your sink right now and say, okay, yeah, I'm going to make a shift and I'm going to start with this. And so you really easily, you can go to the doTERRA website. They have a green cleaning ebook. Download it, print it off, take a look at it, and it'll give you all the recipes that I've some of the ones that I've mentioned tonight, as well as some other ones as well. So you can make oven cleaner, you can, literally clean stainless steel with just lemon oil on a rag, right? Like, it is so versatile and so simple. So, but start somewhere, right? Just pick something that you'd like to make a shift on, and, the resources are there. I will, often post things, especially on, this was green cleaning class. So today I posted a couple recipes. I'll usually do that around the rotational for the classes. So whatever class we're having, I'll try to post some relevant DIY and things around then. So, but a lot of my posts will be still on my Instagram or on my Facebook. So if you want to check out some of those recipes, they're there too. And if you don't have oils yet in your life, you need them. Trust me, where I was 5 years ago to where I am now, from an awareness perspective, and just, the health and the vibrancy that I feel. And, I'm getting older, right? So it's the opposite of, aging. I feel amazing, and I'm loving my oils, and I love my community as well. I love that I'm surrounded by like-minded people who want to, when you know better, you do better, is what they say. And it's so true. Once you understand sort of some of the things that are really simple shifts in your life that you can make, and you create health and wellness for yourself and your family, it's pretty addictive. So reach out, let me know. I can help get you started. Ship you some oils right to your door, and then I'm there to do the wellness consult with you and get you started, and we'll figure out how you want to incorporate them in your life, we're sort of one step at a time, and it doesn't have to be everything all at once. I know that could be intimidating, so let's just pick something, start somewhere. The marathon starts with the first step. So I hope everyone has a really great week, and I look forward to catching up again next week for another class. And if you have questions in the meantime, message me, send me an email. You know how to find me. So take care, everybody. Have a great night. Bye.